Racers Wingo is an item that absolutely fascinates me, because it's the first and only time I've ever seen Mattel release an item that doesn't fit in the original story of an expanded universe toy line, and kind of exists beyond it. Let me explain. You see, every expanding universe toy line we get has a theme behind it, right? You have something like the Ice Racers, where all the releases are different World Grand Prix racers and these new Ice Racer looks. Or you have the Road Trip line, where you have all the different Radiator Springs characters in road trip looks, right? They're all going on vacation. Every once in a while, of course, you'll have a line that has some kind of odd character choices. The Road Trip line had Minnie and Van, but they still fit, right? They still fit with that road trip theme, and they're still Radiator Springs adjacent. This year we have Race and Rescue, which is pretty complex in terms of what it makes, with both rally racer cars based on all three movies, and also rescue vehicles, which includes both Radiator Springs cars and a few miscellaneous other rescue vehicles and items, Kathy Copters in there, which is weird, but still, she's designed to fit the rescue theme. Wingo here doesn't fit in with the Glow Racers storyline at all. He's the only car of his kind in this line. So far, the Glow Racers have only given us Next Gens and Radiator Springs cars, but those Radiator Springs cars have specifically been pit crew member variants. There's also a Glow Racers book that came out around when the line started that gives you the story behind the line, and the tuners have nothing to do with it. That's why I find this item so interesting. It's the first time I've ever seen Mattel take the story they created and go, you know what, let's just make another guy also in this line. And honestly, I'm really happy they did it. And I'm about to explain why. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another review, and to another Glow Racers review here on the channel. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Wingo, a new Glow Racer for 2025. I'm honestly really excited about this, because Wingo honestly just makes sense as a Glow Racer. I know I spent the last 2 minutes of this review, the whole opening, explaining how strange it is, but I totally see why it was done, because Wingo and the other tuners all light up in the first Cars movie when they show them. This seems like Mattel is simply taking advantage of the fact that they have a glow-in-the-dark line right now and using that to make a special glow-in-the-dark variant of a character that glows in the movie. And I honestly think that's really great. So far, we only have Wingo. I don't know if we'll be getting the rest of the tuners. I do hope we get them. But yeah, I just think that's a really cool thing for them to do. Yes, it breaks the storyline and concept they originally had for Glow Racers, but it just seems like they're taking advantage of the fact that they're making glow-in-the-dark cars to make Wingo, since, again, Wingo did glow in the movie. Now, this isn't like a one-to-one film-accurate Cars 1 glow-in-the-dark Wingo. No, it still is very much a part of the Glow Racers line, using its design philosophy with those neon wheels, and of course, it has a bit of a different shade of green than usual, so that Wingo can glow. But yeah, I honestly applaud them for thinking outside of the box with this release and simply, again, taking advantage of the Glow Racers line to make this character. I will say, though, from the start, I've been saying that I wish the Glow Racers line just made miscellaneous characters glow in the dark instead of doing only Next Gens and Radiator Springs pit crew variants. I just wish it was a generic glow in the dark line from the start. And maybe with Wingo here, that's where they're moving towards, but I would more so expect us to just get, maybe one other tuner and then more of the same. If the line continues, it's been going on for 2 years now, so if it does keep going, I'd be surprised. I think new releases are going to continue to slowly trickle out until we don't see any anymore. But, I'd love to get the rest of the tuners. I know, like, Snot Rod doesn't really glow in the movie and stuff, but, you started with Wingo. Here's hoping they do the others. I'm genuinely pretty excited about this item, though. It's not every day we get a new variant of Wingo. In fact, I think the last time we got a fully new Wingo variant was a color changer almost 10 years ago. So, yeah, I will take it. Of course, we should be getting another new Wingo next year, I think, with the anniversary cars, but it's just cool to see him here. On the back of the package, we have Dan Garcia, Jackson Storm, McQueen, Ramon, and Fillmore. I've taken a look at all those guys over the over the almost 2 years we have had Glow Racers now. And this is such an interesting item, and the story behind it is so interesting. I actually, when it was first announced, planned an entire discussion video just talking about this, because, as I'm sure many of you remember, the Glow Racers line isn't all that popular with Cars fans, at the very least with collectors. I don't know how it does with kids, but I will say I don't think they sell super, super well, at least not in my area. They're pretty expensive, and there aren't many of them out there. But, you know, Wingo is a popular character, just objectively popular. The tuners always are. And so I wonder if this was them trying to save face for the line, or... You know, I don't know. It's interesting. There's a lot you could say about it. Anyway, here is Wingo out of the package. And as you can see, he basically is just regular Wingo in a less vibrant green. Specifically, this is actually based on Wingo with flames, which is interesting, but I can't complain. You know, Wingo is basically always driving around with his flames on, so I don't really mind. But yeah, there's really not much to say. He doesn't have a unique expression or anything. He really does look like this is Wingo Player 1 skin and this is Wingo Player 2 skin. I mean, if you do want to look for small differences, they are there. The headlights are a slightly darker color. It seems that purple's the exact same. Again, that face is the exact same. And the green, even the green for his shades, has been made a bit dimmer to be glow-in-the-dark. On its own, honestly, I don't think it looks too good as an item. Just the lack of the vibrancy in the green makes it look kind of awkward, but obviously that is so that it can look all good when it's glowing in the dark. I do really love those neon wheels on him. That is super cool. We have some gray paint painted over, as you can see, that sort of translucent green wheel. Those are really, really nice, and I believe they will glow. And then we get to Wingo's spoiler, which I'm very curious about, because I really hope it glows in the dark, and I really doubt it will. That's the problem with characters like Wingo. You know, in the Color Changers line, you get Wingo, you get the King, you even get World Grand Prix McQueen, and their spoilers don't change, because they can't change, because how could they change their, for whatever reason, a different material? You know, they're a different plastic, and they don't change colors. I really hope that Wingo's spoiler glows in the dark. If you look, you can see that it looks pretty similar to the wheels, and the wheels do glow when they're exposed to light. The wheels are glow in the dark, so I really hope this coloring means the spoiler will be too. If not, then at the very least it is kind of a bright neon color, so hopefully it'll work well with Wingo. And if not, then it'll kind of awkwardly stand out. I'd be sick if the flame glowed too, but I highly doubt it. On the back, we of course have the Wingo license plate. In case you forget who this guy is, to this day, Wingo is missing all the detail that's supposed to be on his back and on the back of his spoiler. But hey, I wasn't expecting that to start on his Glow Racer, right? There's a look at the other side. Finally, there's a look at the base. And now it's time for the moment of truth. Let's see this guy glow in the dark. All right, guys, I got Wingo here in my closet, and I also have this insanely bright $30 LED flashlight that my dad bought for some reason. So we're going to shine it on him. All right, we're going to shut it off and see how it goes. Yes, the spoiler glows. Oh, all right, okay. And it all glows pretty consistently the same color. He looks a little grainy in the eyes compared to some of the other Glow Racers, but this looks pretty good. It looks much better in person, much more vibrant. Again, there is that weird paint graininess, which is not something I've seen on the other Glow Racers. Maybe it's just my copy, I don't know. But yeah, he's looking good. And I'm sorry, just guys, the flame glows too. All right, look at how cool that looks. Dustin Mellows is sneaking up on him like he's part of some sort of terribly written creepypasta from 10 years ago. Look at that. All right, I am impressed with that. Very, very nice. So, I mean, as far as Glow Racers go, I'm going to go on record and say I love that they made Wingo. He looks really ugly when he's not glowing, but when he's glowing, he's looking great. Again, this is an insanely high-powered flashlight. I'm shining it in the corner, okay? You can see just how crazy bright this is. But, yeah, he looks good, and I'm so happy about the spoiler. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching this review. This has been Glow Racers Wingo. Go stream the Dead Dance. It's out now. It's pretty good. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.